kindly switch on your video and audio, please? As we are ready to start the webinar today with all the students joining in. Vijinder, you could also switch on your video. Yes. So I think I'm audible and visible to everyone. There's no problem in visibility and audio. And I think both our panelists are also quite clearly visible to everyone. Okay, so firstly, I would like to welcome all of you a very warm good evening and welcome to another very informative session on Shiksha. I'm Bhagyashree Gupta, your moderator for this session. And today is a very interesting session because we'll not just be talking about the courses, the placement, the cutoffs, and everything about IIMs, but also we will be trying to, kind of get an inside view of the life and culture of two different IIMs. Why am I saying this is going to be interesting? Because one is a well-known, established, one of the first IIMs, IMC, Calcutta that is, and the other one is 8-9 years, a brand new IIM campus at Bodh Gaya. So we are kind of finding the differences and the similarities between these two, the old and the new one, and trying to figure out that what happens and what are the differences and similarities of the life over here. So firstly, I would like to welcome both my panelists from IIMC and IIM Bodh Gaya. Welcome Yash and Tejinder. And thank you so much for being with us here on this session. And now I would like to go over to you, and I would like you to introduce yourselves and bit about the campus to all our students. So Tejinder, we could start with you.
Sure, Bhagyashree. Thanks for this introduction. And let me give a brief introduction about myself, about my background. So I am a mechanical engineering graduate from IIT Ropar. I graduated in 2018. I have worked in the corporate for around 32 months. I worked as a business technology analyst at Deloitte Consulting. There, basically, I helped global clients implement their human capital management and financial management solutions. So it was more of a technical consulting role. Post that, I joined IIM Calcutta in 2021. At IIM Calcutta, I am pursuing the flagship 2-year program, which is the MBA program. And during the summers, I'll be interning at McKinsey & Company.
Great. So coming to you, Yash, please do introduce yourselves and about your campus also.
Thank you for the warm welcome. So I am Yash Singhal. I graduated from NILET Aurangabad in 2021, and I am a fresher. I joined just after my graduation to the IIM Bodh Gaya, and I am doing 2-year MBA program. In the summer, I will be joining ICICI Lombard as a marketing intern, and post that I like to play badminton and I like to go for solo traveling. So this is all little bit about me.
Thank you so much for the introduction and for the brief thing that both of you have mentioned. So starting the webinar with a very interesting question from Davi Nishaba. She would like to know a bit about the beginning of IIM, because there are a lot of students who really do not have much idea, but they know about IIM because there's the biggest, the bestest B schools available in India. So would you like to start a bit telling about IIMs, the whole IIM legacy, if you would like to brief a bit about it? Yes, you could start with it.
Okay, so what I can suggest is that IIM is no matter. It is the tag that you will carry whole of your or rest of your life. So apart from that, no matter which IIM you will join, it is the tag that you will carry for rest of your life. Apart from that, in any of the in the industry, this is the one of the most important tag, and it is considered like, what I can say is, one of the best graduate in the MBA program. So if anyone of the participant want to join in the IIM, so it is just like no matter whichever the colleges they're getting, like Bodh Gaya, Jammu, any baby IIM or new IIM or old IIM. So the preference can be subjective to the participant depending on what are their priorities and all those things. But I would mainly suggest to them is opt for IIM, and just after getting the taste in the first year, you will always free to do whatever you want.
Right. So coming to Tejinder, what would you like to say? What's your opinion on this?
Yes. So, as many of you might know, that IIMs are the premium management institutes of the country. So, there are old IIMs consisting of IIM ABC, Lucknow, Indore, and there are new and baby IIMs as well. So as Yash has already mentioned about the brand value that these institutions carry, if you have pursued your MBA from one of these prestigious institutions, so there is a brand value that that attaches to your CV. But apart from that, what I think is that these institutions also try to provide you the opportunities and learnings, which I think is which is quite different, and which will help you when you step out of the institute and walk into the corporate industry. So these opportunities opportunities and the peer learning that we get from these institutions is unparalleled, and I think that is quite important as well.
Great. So I think that was a quite nice and brief intro about IIMs, and for those students who wanted to know what exactly IIM means. So I think this was quite nice. So let's just begin with some of the questions that students also have regarding, and the motive of this session is, to compare the life between the two campuses. So starting with you, Tejinder, I would just firstly like to know, what are the courses that is offered at IMC? Yes, Tejinder, you could go ahead.
Sure. Yeah. So if I talk about the course curriculum, so IIM Calcutta basically has a two-tier course structure. So it consists of a core curriculum as well as the elective courses. So the core curriculum consists of mainly the compulsory courses that the students have to undertake during their first years. This basically generally helps students in developing the business fundamentals in different areas like economics, finance, marketing, operations, strategy, etc. Post that, in the second year, the students are allowed to take courses as per their area of interest. So these are the elective courses that the students have to pick up, and these basically helps in specialized learning in the area of interest or the area where the candidate where the student wants to pursue his career thereafter. So this is basically the how the curriculum is structured, and in these the courses are from all the different fields like finance, marketing, operations, organization behavior, etc. Moreover, there is also a summer internship, mandatory summer internship that the students have to undergo at the end of their first year. This basically helps apply the learnings, the classroom learnings that the students undergo in the MBA program, and apply that in the corporate setup. So I think that is a learning that the student gets from this internship program. So yeah, this is how the course is structured here at IIM Calcutta.
Okay. So coming to Yash, what would you like to tell about the courses, the course structure at Bodh Gaya?
In most of the IIMs, the course structure is as among the same or something. The alignment would be the same, approximately 90%. But what I can say is that in our program, there is one additional field that is introduced this year only, is the entrepreneurship field. Because in most of the what we have seen in today's culture, startup is going, and they are doing very well as of now, and most of the they are surpassing even the MNCs. So for the entrepreneurship thing, as the Tejinder has said already, like the first year would have all the basic courses that will give you the business structure and how the industry works, and then applying the knowledge in the summer internship. That the learnings you will get over there is also quite different from the theories that you have learned in the 1 year in the last 1 year at your classrooms. Apart from that, then moving ahead with the second year electives, so you have approximately 5 to 6 streams in which you can do your majors and can be able to apply and make your future ahead in that industry only. So we have one more thing is that entrepreneurship. So here you can get an additional course of entrepreneurship.
Okay. Okay. So coming to the special features about the college and, about the courses, coming to Tejinder, what are the special courses or special features for IIMC, if we would ask like that?
Sure, Bhagishri. So, firstly, I would touch upon the courses part. If we can categorize the courses which are offered by IIM Calcutta, so these are of three types. First is the postgraduate programs, which basically are equivalent to a master's degree. Then we have a doctoral program or the PhD degree, PhD program. And thirdly, we have the management development programs for executives. In the postgraduate programs as well, we have majorly 4 different types of programs. One is the MBA or the flagship 2-year residential program, in which I'm currently enrolled. Apart from that, we have PGP-EX program for executives with 5+ years of work experience. PGP-EX VLM program for people who want to be business leaders in the manufacturing sector. And lastly, the PGDBA, which is for those who want to make a career in business analytics. So this is all about the different courses which are being offered by IIM Calcutta. And more or less the curriculum is same, but the different courses have certain specialized courses which are targeted, certain specialized courses for those programs. Now talking about the special features of the college, there is no 1 or 2 features or good things about IIM Calcutta in general. So what I can say is I'll split it into 2 or 3 buckets. So first is the college life and the infrastructure here at IIM Calcutta. So talking about that, so that is one of the compelling features of Joka. It's is its scenic beauty. So it is, the campus has a 135. So it is a 135-acre campus, and it has 7 lakes present inside the campus. And for any nature lover, the beauty of the campus is it's like a heaven for any nature lover. So that is about the scenic beauty inside the campus. And talking about the infrastructure, we have like state-of-the-art facilities for all the basically labs as well as other infrastructure which is present. We have a new academic block as well as the ATM facilities and the medical facilities as well. So this is about the infrastructure bit. Talking about certain unique features about IIM Calcutta, which sets it apart from other old B schools as well. So being the oldest IIMs among all the IIMs, so it is the only institute of the country which is a part of the SEMS group, so which is a cohort of 30 top B schools across the globe. So this allows students to pursue an extra degree, which is a SEMS MIM degree. So what it helps students in is it basically provides a global experience to the students who basically want to pursue their career abroad or have certain similar ambitions. Then there is also a student exchange program wherein more than 100 students go abroad for their exchange program in one of the semesters. And this basically helps to understand how the foreign management education is structured, and how it also helps to get to know about the various cultures and how the corporates work there. And so this is what are the unique features that IIM Calcutta provides. Apart from that, since it's one of the oldest B schools of the country, so I think in terms of opportunities and career growth, it is top notch, and I think all the facilities provided here are unparalleled.
Right. So thank you so much for all that detail. So coming to Yash, since Bodh Gaya campus is under the mentorship of IMC, we know that about that. So definitely there are a lot of similarities that Bodh Gaya campus must be following, since it's under IMC. So what's your point of view on the campus, the infrastructure and facilities at IIM Bodh Gaya? And do you also suggest, because there are a lot of questions from students who want to know that should they directly go to the new campuses, to the baby campuses instead of the old ones? What would you like to say on that?
See, for this, there is a very subjective thing, though I can't be able to explain that in a very detail over here in a short span of time. So, what I will say is that being in the mentorship of IMC, Bodh Gaya has the main of the, like, in the alignment of the IMC only. But yes, what the special features that IM Bodh Gaya holds in its pocket is its core values, and being from the strategic location, IM Bodh Gaya provides you like the that mindfulness. So as we all know that uh, education is something that you can be able to excel in the industry, but in the industry you have to take the mindful decisions. So for that, we stand for the core values that we hold as that's why we have the name the enlightening IIM. So we are given approximately two sessions in a week of the samatvam, that is the meditation, in order to be mindful even in the worst situations that company faces or in the industry in your day-to-day life. So these are the special features that IIM Bodh Gaya holds in this pocket.
Right. So, Yash, did you firstly apply here at this campus, or did you apply to the older ones also before?
I have applied for the both, like the old one also and the baby ones also. But that attracted me to the baby ones is that uh, here I would get the opportunity to bring out the core potential of my campus, and then applying to this, like making a brand. So if you are going in a startup and making it a brand, so the journey it is very exciting over there.
So I think that's a very important feature that you added here, that you got the option for two, but you opted for the baby campus, right? I would like to take certain questions from all the students who are waiting here for their questions. So Mansi is here, and she wants to know that she's a BBA student and she wants to do MBA from IIM. So she wants to, get the right opinion about the right time to, start for preparing for CAT and how she can. So if Tejinder, you would like to answer her question, please.
Sure,
Tejinder, you could,
Bhagyashree.
yeah.
Yeah. So I think to prepare for the CAT examination, generally a time period of around 6 months is recommended. So it depends on student to student. So what the student has to do is initially do an honest analysis of how well the preparation of the student is at the beginning of starting the prep for the CAT examination. So some students from like engineering background have do better in the quant section, whereas the students from other background generally do well in the verbal section. So initially I would recommend that do give one of the mock tests which are present on various websites. So do an analysis of where you stand currently, and basis that you can decide on how much time is required for the preparation. But generally 3 to 8 months is 3 to 8 months is recommended. Generally most students prepare for like 4 to 5 months on an average. But yeah, so ideally either, so there are two ways one can go about their preparation. One is to do their preparation from home itself, so they can use certain resources which are present online, or you can take up a course or coaching from one of the coaching institutes. So these are the two options which are available. I would that is also that also depends on what is the current status and the preparation of the student, and accordingly the student can prepare for the CAT examination. After
Yeah.
Apart from that, one thing I want to add is
Sure.
the after once the CAT examination is over, the next stage is the VAT PI preparation for the interviews and VET, written ability test. So I think for that also, although the students generally prepare after their CAT examination, but it's better if you start reading newspapers or read something in general along with their CAT preparation. So that generally helps students in their preparation.
Right. So, just adding to that, Tejinder, how was your entire experience of, preparing for CAT, appearing, and then getting into the final admission process at IIM? How was your overall experience?
Yeah, so for me, I did. So I gave CAT last year as well, like the year before I got an admit from IIM Calcutta. I got an admit from IIM Indore that year, but there were certain apprehensions around uh, the online the shift to online mode due to the COVID, and also I was more inclined towards joining one among ABC. So that's the reason I thought of again sitting for my CAT examination the next year. The So that year I started my prep around 4 months in advance. Since I had an experience of giving the CAT examination before that, so more or less I was good in quant and the DILR section, but I had to brush up my verbal section and also uh, like revise certain concepts from the other two sections as well. So 4 months was sufficient for me, but if you are starting the prep from the basic level, I would recommend a bit more time to be devoted for CAT prep, like 6 to 7 months. Again, that I would recommend on the basis of where you stand at the start of the preparation. So that was all for me. After I gave my CAT examination, so I got a shortlist from almost all the old IIMs, and then again I didn't opt for an coaching for any coaching institute, but I took the test series from one of the leading coaching institutes. So the mock practice is something which is very important for your uh, CAT test. So I think because that basically helps you judge yourself with the other CAT test takers. So I think that is very important, and I would recommend to each and every aspirant that wants to pursue an MBA. And again, one of the coaching institute, and for that you have to be diligent for 1 or 2 months. You have to prepare certain generic questions, HR questions, and then again I would say that having a good amount of idea about the current affairs and reading newspapers is something that helps a candidate.
Right. So I think that very well answers about the kind of experience you had. So coming to Yash, I would just like to extend this question to you. How was your overall experience of CAT preparation and the kind of entire process, that it goes right from, CAT to appearing and then coming to the admission process and then, your personal interview. There are a lot of things that are involved. So how was your overall experience for that?
See, for appearing the CAT, I don't have any prior planning that I will be appearing for this. But I gained interest in the lockdown time. I was sitting alone at my home, so there is nothing to do for that. So I just taken up the books and start preparing for the CAT exam. And it is approximately 8 months for that. I have taken the course and revising all those things and doing the preparation. In the only that 8 month time I got, and I prepared for it, and I got in selection in the IIM. So in that case, I would suggest is that no matter how much time you will be devoting or how your preparation would be, but I one thing that I make sure is that I don't leave my connect with the rest of the world. So that helped me a lot in the GD in the PI section of this admission process. So when I cleared the CAT exam, and then I have to prepare for the personal interview because due to the COVID, GD part was cancelled. So this helped me a lot that I won't have to devote much extra time about reading the current affairs. That Tejinder has already said that current affairs is one of the most things in the PI section most of the people and most of the interviewers ask is. so I won't have to devote much extra time for that. So I can be able to focus on rest of my 50%, like getting to know more about my extracurricular activities. I say you one of my experience in that in the PI interview, I have in relay race in 10th class, I have won one medal. So the that interviewer asked me, like, you have won the a silver medal over here, so you would be knowing about the various athletes that of the India and the rest of the world. So yeah, that question I can't be able to answer. So these are the out of the box questions that one cannot be able to answer that. But apart from that, approximately 80 to 90% of my interview goes well, but 10% I just think like these are the out of the box experiences, and no matter how much you would be able to devote or how much be able to study, some out of the box would always be there in the PI part.
Okay. So, sir, so yes, just adding to that, Mansi just wants to know, for preparing CAT, self-study or coaching classes, which is better? Did you also take coaching classes for preparation?
As I have said, like I have gained in interest in the COVID time, so I haven't opted for any of the coaching classes. So yeah, it depends on person to person. If a person can be able to devote much of the time and can be able to grab what is written in the books, this is the best way to study and crack any of the exam.
Right. So I think that very well answers the question. So coming to Tejinder, since Tejinder, you mentioned that you had some months of work experience as well. So there are students, there are a lot of aspirants who want to know, like, if they are working, will they be able to study and prepare for CAT and appear for IIM admission process? Is that possible? And how should they balance both? Yes, Tejinder.
Yes,
Yeah.
Bhagya. So yeah, that's an interesting question. I would like to say that it is a given that preparing for CAT along with your job is a bit difficult than if you are preparing during your, let's say, during your undergraduation, or if you're not working. So that is a given. But what I would like to say is that you have to be more focused in that case. So you have to basically schedule your studies if you are doing a job along with preparing for CAT. So for me, basically, my job was such that there were times wherein I had to work till late at 10, but there were certain periods when it was relatively chill, and I do not have to devote so many hours. So it depends on how you can leverage those extra hours and free time that you get. What I did was the weekends were free for me. So during the weekends, I used to give as many mocks and sectional tests as possible. So that was my strategy. And during the weekdays, there was a bit less time that I could devote, but I made sure that I would take out like 2 to 3 hours every day after coming from the job or before going to the job, wherein I can like revise certain concepts or maybe give certain sectional tests for 20 minutes or 30 minutes. So I agree that it's a bit difficult if you have to prepare along with your job, but in that case, you have to schedule your studies accordingly, and you have to be well prepared for that. I would suggest that if in that case, it is good if you take a leave just before your actual D-Day. So what I did was we get certain time off. So during that, I leverage that to study as much as possible. But in the last week to the CAT examination, I took a time off. I took a leave of absence. And because 1 week before the CAT examination, you should be stress free, and it is recommended that you do not do anything on the last day before CAT examination. So this is something I would recommend if a person is trying to give his CAT examination along with doing a job.
Right. So just adding to this question itself, Tejinder, since you had a work experience, So does that affect at the time of placements at IIMC? Particularly, I'm talking about your campus.
I mean, so basically, if you have a work experience, it eventually adds up in your CV. So you have certain corporate experience. So one thing which I feel is that uh, if you have a corporate experience, you have a better perspective of what you want to do in future. Like you have certain industry experience. So that is one thing that helped in my case, but that may vary from person to person, because some people are very clear in what field they want to choose and what things they want to pursue in the future right after their undergraduation. But for me, I think having industry experience helped me a lot, because I wasn't very sure about which field to choose. But after having a bit of a tech consulting experience, I kind of realized that strategy consulting or management consulting roles is something that interests me, because of the those roles that I um took part in at my job experience. So the design sessions that I had with my clients, those kind of inclined me towards these roles. So I think that is something that helped in my case. But apart from that, I don't think there is something that holds you back, or is where like is at an advantage for you if you have a work experience. It's just that if you have a work experience, it just adds up on your CV. But if you have already achieved something exceptionally well in your undergraduation, you have certain internships there, so you can add that in your CV as well. So if I talk about all the firms, apart from the firms that come in letters, which are very few in number, which have a certain criteria for the number of work experience that a candidate should have, apart from that, there is no company that has a set criteria for the
Right.
number of work experience that the candidate should have. So I think
So,
that doesn't benefit.
Coming to Yash, when we talk about the pressure, the kind of students have about this course thing, that what kind of pressure would they get? So I just want to know from you, Yash, is it difficult to handle at IIMs? Because there are a lot of students, who have this common question of handling the pressure and the kind of life they will have at IIM campus. So what's your take at Bodh Gaya?
See, life at IIM is little bit tougher than any of the B school, but I can make sure that if any of the person join an IIM, in a couple of days he can be able to can't be able to cope up with the stress or the something like the academic schedule or the curriculum that they have. But yes, even after a week, it is everything got normal, and people start enjoying that life, because the in the curriculum there are many case studies and the personal experiences, and then the teachers and the faculties that are teaching us is one of the best in the country. So the live interaction, and then like they share their experiences with us, and how those case studies are the case studies though are in the real world only. So how can we be able to cope up with our there in any of the decisions that came up in our industry experience, that when we are going to. Apart from that, we have approximately 9 hour of classes scheduled in between. After that, we have cultural nights, and then like the night shows and everything like that. So that gives us more motivation, and that boost up our energy. So the life is tough, but yes, you really enjoy it. I am.
So just just trying to contradict. Do you agree that if you were in the one of the old campuses, you would have a much hectic life schedule than you have right now if you were in IMC or in any other old one campuses?
I guess I can't be able to answer that correctly, but yes, I don't think that it would be more hectic than as of now.
Right. And Tejinder, would you like to contradict and give an answer on that? That will they, the new campuses will have a lighter schedule than the older ones?
I mean that I think that depends on person to person. So how well he manages his studies. So many people manage their study so well that they tend to get like a more than 8 hours of sleep. But other people, if a person wants to pursue other things, like he wants to do a case competitions, he want to also take part in other extracurricular activities. So in that case, his schedule might be a bit packed up, and he has to adjust accordingly. So I think there are a lot of things that are provided, opportunities are provided at NIM campus. And I think it depends on the person, what all things he has to put in his bucket and pursue here at IIM campus, which basically decides how packed his schedule and his daily routine is.
Okay, so I have a question for you, Tejendra. So this question is by Daisy Mehta, and she is interested to know about the kind of pressure in all IIMs, especially Calcutta. And they're like quite curious if they will be able to handle it or not. So I think you can perfectly answer that question.
Yeah, I think it like it is true that there is a certain amount of pressure, because one, since you have given so much like fees to join an IIM to do an MBA, and it is quite important that you perform well in both your summer placements as well as your final placements. But I would say that it depends on the time of the year as well, and because if you see the first semester or the trimester is very packed up, the candidate has to give his the student has to also give interviews for the different clubs and societies he has to join, and then he has to simultaneously also prepare for the summer internship which are there, which would be happening in like 2-3 months from there. So I think that is quite packed up, like the first two, like 1.5 trimesters. But after that, it is relatively chill, and it depends on what the person has to do thereafter. So I think the stress part, it is true that it can be quite stressful in the initial few months, like 4 or 5 months, when you have to prepare for your internships. But then eventually it becomes a bit less, and then it depends on the person, what all things he want to pursue. And if a person manages his studies well, I think it's not very hectic as it is perceived to be, because this is something which I have experienced. I can say that the 1 month here at IIM Calcutta was something which was, I can say, was a bit stressful. That was a month before my summer internship week. But apart from that, I found it to be manageable, and now I think it is relatively chill. So from my experience, it is not that stressful as it is perceived to be.
So, Tejinder, as I also asked the same question to Yash, like, did he not apply for any old campuses? And he said that he straightly got into the new campus. So, you did mention that you had ABC, I am ABC in your top priority. And for that reason, you did give the CAT exam for the second time because you did not wanted to opt for a new campus. So, why did you have this that you would want to go to an old campus and not get into a new campus? There should be some reasons for that.
Yeah, so as I mentioned, one of the actually reason for giving the CAT examination again was the shift to the online setup due to the COVID. I was apprehensive about what would be the learnings in the online setup. So apart from that, initially my target was one among the top 6 B schools, ABCL, I, and K. But the reason being that I think that since I was at a position at my job wherein I thought that I had growth opportunities there as well. But if I want to like my goals and aspirations were to get into the strategy and management consulting role. And after talking to my seniors as well as alumni from these all these prestigious institutions, I got to know that the roles which are offered in old B schools are very diverse, and almost all the roles are offered. So one of the reason was that I didn't want to like I want to I didn't want that I can get like relatively less roles if I get into, let's say, I am Indore, because there are certain roles which the top management consulting firms which do not come for. So I didn't I didn't want to restrict the amount of roles and the companies which are coming for placements, and that is one of the criteria for me for choosing the old B schools.
So I think that was a very honest answer from you for choosing the old campuses. Coming to Yash, let's talk about the campus placements and the industry exposure that IIM has. So since you come from the new campus, what kind of industry exposure you had till now, or what kind of campus placements does Bodh Gaya has?
See, this time, like we are seeing the great resignation all over the world. So, yeah, this time we have a relatively good number of recruiters in our campus. And to name some of few is Morgan Stanley and McKinsey, and then ICICI Securities, Kotak Mahindra, and many others are that came to our campus and hired. And this time we have got 30 lakh CTC in our campus. That is the highest one. So this time the campus is like the placements are I can say is very good as compared to the COVID times. We are struggling for the placement. Apart from that, the exposure that I got is we have a numerous number of live projects that are offered for our campus. So these are one of the great opportunities that one can grab, and to have like what all is going on in the industry, and would that how it would be aligned in your summer internship also. So yeah, this type of opportunities we get time to time from in a month apart from like uh, one completed, and then you can opt for second or third like that. So you can be able to get numerous number of opportunities. Apart from that, if you can also apply from the placement cell and from outside, like you directly approach to a recruiter. So having the IIM tag, that helps us a lot to grab the opportunities over here. So yeah, these are the opportunities and the industry exposure we get.
Right. And just another question I would like to add to that, Yash, there are a lot of students who have shifted from a different background and they want to pursue MBA from IIM. They could be from engineering background, or they could be from, a science background. So they might have a gap, between taking admission into IIM and from the last course. So does that really affect coming from a different background? Does that really makes them work harder to get into an IIM admissions?
See, getting an admission even after the gap doesn't matter a lot. It is just like how you back that gap that matters a lot. So if you are having something like you can back it off. So yeah, it doesn't matter with the interview and getting into the IIMs.
Right. So I think a lot of questions were there related to these, since a lot of them were coming from arts or science and these. All right. So coming to Tejinder, would like to know the kind of industrial exposure IMC offers, to its students, and which are the top companies that have been there for students' placements.
Sure. So talking about the placements at IMC, so the companies from almost all the sectors visit IMC for their summer as well as the final placement process. So if we talk about the consulting sector, the major consulting firms, almost all the major consulting firms like McKinsey, Bain, BCG, Carney, Accenture Strategy, PwC, do come to the campus for almost all the roles that they can offer to the students, like strategy roles or management consulting roles. So IIM Calcutta, being the finance campus of the country, also sees also witnesses majorly almost all the roles from the different finance companies like Goldman Sachs, BofA, Gaza Capital, etc. The roles offered are quite varied, like PVC, IB roles. If we talk about other companies, we also see conglomerates such as Tata Group, Mahindra, Aditya Birla. These basically offer the leadership roles to the students, and these are majorly the general management roles which are offered to the students. And then apart from these, we also see a lot of companies coming in the product management role, program management role, operations, marketing, etc. So these are some of the top firms which do come for placements at IMC. And in terms of opportunities which are there, I would say there are ample opportunities. As I also mentioned, this was one of my criteria of joining old IIMs. And in terms of placement, we see the placements figures are also top notch and as compared to the other B schools. This time, like in general, the average placements figures are around 29 lakhs or 30 lakhs. But this time we can see the pent up demand after the COVID is leading to hell lot of roles being offered by almost all the firms, wherein we can see the consulting firms are offering a lot of roles across all the campuses. So this week we are having final placements at our campus. Those are going on, but we can see in the at the first dates of the roles provided are the consulting firms are providing basically a lot of roles to the students. So these are some of the statistics around the placements that are there at IIM Calcutta.
Also, I just want to know quickly, since Bodh Gaya is under IMC's mentorship, so the same companies or the companies which are coming to IMC for placement, do they also offer placements at IIM Bodh Gaya? Do they travel to their baby campuses also? Yes, Tejinder, if you'd like to add on that.
I'm not very sure about the whether the companies do come in the the all the companies do come in the Bodh Gaya campus as well. I know for a fact that the course curriculum and all that is quite same as it is a mentee institute, but the companies actually have their own criteria because certain firms have they set criteria on which all institutes they want to go for the placements. For example, if we consider the top management consulting firms, they only do recruit from A, B, C, and L. And so similarly, there are different criteria for different companies. So since we have no say in this process because companies have to decide on their own. So I think that depends. So in a way, there are few companies which do come in the old campuses and do not offer those roles, or maybe they offer different kinds of roles in maybe new IIMs or baby IIMs.
So, Yash, as Tejinder did mention that not all the companies who are coming to IMC will go to their baby campuses. So, do you agree, Yash, this would be a disadvantage for students at Bodh Gaya or the smaller campuses, the new campuses? They will be at a disadvantage because of this.
This I won't see as a disadvantage because they are like the even in a IIM Calcutta or even in the old IIM, some of the companies have different requirement and some of they complete their recruitment over there. So in our campus we have other companies lined up. So some of the companies might be able to approach the old IIM, so they can be easily approached to the baby one. So this is one of the advantage you can say we have in this new IIMs and the baby IIMs.
Right, right. So just talking about coming to the cultural life of both the IIM campuses. So Yash, what kind of extracurricular activities you have at Bodh Gaya? And if I would like you to describe your day, a whole entire day at IIM Bodh Gaya, how it is, how would you like to describe the whole story, as a student of IIM Bodh Gaya, how it is all about?
So as of now, we are only in the online mode, so it won't be like any effective in that. But yes, in the online mode also, we are having a 6 to 7 hours of classes as of now, starting from 9 a.m. and it long lasts to the approximately 5 p.m. After that, we have a lot of activities lined up for us like the cultural event, then DJ night, then comedy night, and then a fashion show and all those stuff. So we have a entirely new what I can say is that in the first half of the day you are different one, and in the another half of the day you are a different person. So yeah, those are the opportunities that or I can say the effectiveness is the like amazing over here.
Right. And just extending that same question to Tejinder, what kind of extra cultural activities IMC offers to students, and kind of your day, at IMC, how it is all about?
Yes. So I would say that there isn't any typical day at IMC, because like every day is quite different. But I can tell you the different kinds of activities that the students here engage in. So our classes start at around 8:30 till 4. It's not that we have classes throughout, but there are like on an average 2 to 3 classes on a day. So till that time we are generally busy with our classes, and post that we have a lot of extracurricular activities to take part in. uh, we have club for almost all the different sports, cultural as well as business activities at the campus. If we talk about the sports, we have facilities for almost all the different sports. We have multi-courts as well. So as the students are in campus right now, so students are leveraging these facilities and are engaging in these activities. There are various sporting events that happen in the online setup. This was something which the students missed, but as the things are getting normal, students get to experience these things as well. We have like intersection sport events as well as inter college events as well, sporting events. Talking about the cultural activities, we have like there are different clubs for each clubs as well as SIGs for different activities like singing, dance, dramatics, etc., etc. And they generally organize events in different during different festivals, as well as our institute fest, which is called the Seven Lakes Fest. So I think these are some of the activities that the students take part in. Apart from that, the third thing which is the are the business clubs that are also there for the students. So we have dedicated clubs for consulting, marketing, etc. So therein students can basically apply their learning that they have in class, and to basically apply their learning in taking up different projects and initiatives like these. So I think this is something, these are all the activities that the students take part in here at IIM Calcutta.
Right. So I think we'll just take a few, quickly take few questions, from the students, and like to, answer. You would like to answer their queries, because there are a lot of questions coming in for both of you. So I just quickly take some of the questions. So Gana Bathalu Madhu, she wants to know, will it be hard to get good academic score if they are from different backgrounds? So Yash, if you would like to answer that.
No, that doesn't matter. Like you are from any background. Once you appear in the IIM exams, and then you start studying in the IIM, so it doesn't matter that whatever your background is, you will your the teacher, the faculties will be teaching in a such a way that everyone would be getting what they are teaching is. So yeah, that doesn't matter.
Right. So coming to you, Tejinder, I would like to take another question for you. Shivam wants to know marks for class 12. Does that really matter for getting into IIM?
So different IIMs have different criteria for selection, as well as shortlisting as well as final selection. So I mean, it is not correct to say that the marks do not play any role, but I think that is not all. Generally, I am out of 100, the IIMs have around 10 to 5 to 10 marks weightage for 10th and 12th, and as well as the undergraduate percentage. So I think that is not a make or break thing that the students have to worry about. I would say that interview is the most important component in the final selection, and the student has to perform well in that. And if the student has done maybe relatively not well in their 12th, maybe they can compensate it with the doing well in other sections.
Right. So Tejinder, just adding to this, since you did appear for CAT for more than once, Akansha wants to know how many times can a student attend a CAT exam, can appear for CAT exam.
Uh, I think there isn't any limit on how many times you can give your CAT examination. You whenever you feel that you have got a good enough percentile, and if you have got the institute that you are aiming for, you can go ahead or maybe reappear for the CAT examination. But generally, if you want to pursue a PGP course from any of the IIMs, it is generally recommended that 4 to maximum 4 to 5 years of experience is what a candidate should have, because after that it is better to because there are other courses which are better suited for people with more than 4+ years of work experience, like the program executive programs as well as programs by in ISB. So yeah, I think there isn't any limit on the number of times a person can give a CAT examination, but the as the work experience increases, so it is better to pursue other courses, executive programs, rather than a flagship program.
Great. So question for you, Yash, would be like, at what part of the year should they start preparing for CAT? Like, should they start preparing from the second year and start applying it, or in the third year?
Like as the Tejinder has already discussed about the same, it depends on person to person, how much time they would take to grab up the things. So this is the thing, like if the person is ready to go ahead in the third year, then he can be able to start learning from that. And if not, he can be able to start even in the first or the second year also.
Right. And Yash, would you like to also add the cutoff for IIM Bodh Gaya, please?
See, here it is it takes in through two process. One is the common admission process, and one is the supplementary admission process. So for the cap, it is around 93 plus percentile with section cutoff of 70 plus, and in the SAP it is approximately 88 percentile with section cutoff of approximately 60 percentile plus.
All right. And coming to you, Tejinder, what would be the cutoff for IMC?
Yeah, so actually the cutoff varies from year to year. As of now, it is it like across the three sections: VA, VRC, DILR, and quantitative ability. It's 80, 80, and 75 respectively. But it is recommended that the candidate checks the website every year whenever they are applying, because it does change by a slight margin every year. So these are the criterias for the sectional cutoff, but then there are also certain criteria for the undergraduate scores as well as 10th and 12th percentage. That is, I think, around 50 marks, if I'm not wrong, 50 percentage. But the candidate should do check these criteria before appearing for the CAT examination.
Okay, so I have a question particularly for Tejinder, and the person would like Tejinder to answer this. He wants to know, like, a lot of students from top IIMs don't participate in a case study competition as other colleges. So what does that basically mean? So Tejinder, if you wish to answer this.
I mean, I do not exactly agree with that statement, because currently I am participating in two of those. So, I mean, it depends on person to person. Maybe there are like more opportunities for other things, so people are not engaging in case competition. So it is up to the person how, what all things they want to explore during their MBA life. Some may be interested in case competitions, but if I see there is quite a lot of participation from new IIMs as well as baby IIMs as well. But I wouldn't say that the participation is less, but maybe the reason might be that the students are engaging in other activities which they feel might be beneficial for their learnings overall during their MBA. But I wouldn't exactly agree with that statement, because there are quite a lot of students who do engage in case competitions from old IIMs as well.
Great. So coming to Yash, I think last one or two questions we could take. So there's a student whose academic score is 65% for 10th and 12th. So he wants to know that if he clears CAT with 99 percentile, will he be able to get admission in IIM or will he be rejected?
I guess most of the IIMs have the approximately 60% plus of scores, and if there is any of the particular IIM that is having more than that, so it is just recommended to go through each and every website of IIM and then choose wisely about which IIM they can be able to opt for and go for.
Right. And yes, just adding another question since it's for IIM Bodh Gaya. Shyam wants to know how can we prepare strongly for the personal interview round for Bodh Gaya campus?
See, for the Bodh Gaya campus, it is most of the PIs are the same, just like that. And so, if a person want to go for any of the PI, uh, uh, especially for the Bodh Gaya, then he can be able to 50%. Like as I've said earlier, also 50% is the current affairs and 50% is rest of the part that you have done till now. So the 50% is the that the current affairs that can't be grabbed up in a in a number of days or a particular stipulated time. So this is a staggered process. Like you have to be go through all those news in the last 1 year. So they can be able to take up any of the news and then ask you like tell if you are aware of those things or not. Apart from that, the rest 50% is like if you are going through a BTech then or BBA, then you must be aware of what all you have studied over there.
Right. So I think that very well answers. And before we conclude the entire session, what would be lastly your tip or suggestion, Yash, to all the students who are here?
So my suggestion is that if you want to be here, then work hard and don't get distracted by any of the myths that you came across during your journey to the IIM.
Right. And Tejinder, what would you like to suggest all the students?
So my suggestion would be if any person is aiming for doing an MBA, one thing which is very important is that he or she should be very clear about why he wants to do an MBA. This is generally a question asked during the interviews as well, but the more understanding the person has by himself will help him better during his while pursuing an MBA as well. Although MBA provides a lot of opportunities wherein the students can see and explore the opportunities, but having a direction and what all things you want to gain from an MBA is something I would recommend the students should gain or through by connecting with the students as well as alumni from the various institutions.
Right. So I think all the students who have joined us for this session, you could see a feedback poll on your screen. So I would request all of you to kindly do participate in this feedback poll as this helps us to, improvise for our next webinars. And if you have any suggestions, you can always mail us or come to our website. Also, if any of your questions, though we tried to take a lot of questions from all the students, but if any of your questions remain unanswered, you can always drop us a mail or your questions at our website, shiksha.com. Or if you have missed this entire session or video, this will be there for you on our official YouTube channel, shiksha.com. So you can always subscribe our channel and watch the entire session or the complete video. And for any queries, you can always contact us at Shiksha Assistant, which is there on our website, and related to the IIM campuses or any queries, you can always connect with Shiksha's website, and Shiksha Assistant will be there to help you out. And I hope the session was useful to all the students and all the aspirants. Thank you, Tejinder and Yash, for this amazing session and for all the information.
Thanks, Bhagishri, for this opportunity.
Thank you so much. And thank you everyone who have joined us here, and hope you had an amazing session. Thank you.